So, in the class today about trees and vegetation, we started to look at these examples from the book by Giovanni Civardi, which is a book I recommend buying. Is a full guide with different aspects of drawing. So drawing trees and vegetation. So here he's got the three model for drawing. So the first, blocking out, finding the shape, delineating your theme, placing onto paper. It should be a soft sketch, not as dark as in here. This is just for pure illustration that the lines are as dark. And then the second one, you're going to place where is a dark shade, where is a mid shade, and also keeping those lovely gaps, the negative space in the tree. And then in the final bit, you're going to add the texture. This is one way of creating it from his demonstration. Something to always bear in mind when drawing tree branches or leaves. They always grow alternate. This is quite important. Yeah, and on a tree, just think that some branches will be at the front where you see, might grow from behind your view, and always in an alternate way. And here are some different outlines, silhouettes of trees. So people are out today in the park exploring different textures of trees. Everyone is out right now enjoying the weather for about half an hour. And I asked them to produce 2 or 3 sketches. So here is what I produced yesterday. So here first, my quick sketch. I was observing this tree sitting from the cafe at the Mac Center. And here you see I just placed the outline of the tree, which discontinued lines, more or less observing the movement of the silhouette of the tree. Placed a few elements on the background, which I liked. Nothing is with measurement here, it's just by eye. The idea for this exercise just to be a quick sketch, and I started to observe how is the texture of this tree, how would I produce that with a pencil. So the way I hold the pencil was like this, and just creating this sort of movement here. It's a bit difficult to do this as I hold the camera, but it's more or less what I started doing, a bit of a quick study. And here I was exploring, observing different textures, more detailed, but not so close details, but more at the top of the tree. I'll have this sort of leaves, and some leaves falling down here, more on the bottom area of my tree. And this was, I did at the end, more like detailed dotted leaves for this tree. For this tree, I found I need to produce the background. I couldn't see much the shading on my tree. It was quite diffused. So add a bit more contrast. I placed the background, and the background was actually darker than the tree. So this is something to observe. Is my tree darker or lighter than my background? And you can actually start with your background first and do the tree after, or the other way. So this sketch took me about 20 minutes actually to produce. Just an impression of this tree. And then I've done this one for about 15 minutes. So just observing a bush of with some lovely leaves, So first I was studying, observing the shapes of the leaves, did this study, and thinking how I would place place my focus area, which is always good to define what's the focus area of your drawing. Here with more defined leaves, and then everything gets a little bit more abstract and soft, to bring the feeling that is further away and create the focus point in this area. But this was just a study. Then to create this very quickly, just an impression of the bush. I was observing, observe the light and dark areas, and the idea of trying to recreate the movement, the shape of the leaves. And then last, I've done this tree in about 12 minutes. So started with the tree trunk, placing the main branches. And this tree was much more fuller, but I didn't want to spend too long. Placed a few elements on the background for context. Very quickly expressed what I saw regarding leaves and the tree branches. So when doing this sort of quick sketch, I observe really well at the beginning my object, my theme, copy, reproduce the main elements like the tree branch, give it the character it has. But then afterwards I sort of detach a little bit and do what I read that tree possess, that sort of quality. So it's not a faithful copy, and it's just, obviously it's a quick sketch, but at some point, just to say I detach a little bit from copying, looking and reproducing, and just carry on working on that tree to just create, to draw a tree that is similar, that reproduces the same qualities and characters, but it's not a faithful copy. So I don't need to take too long to produce that drawing.